Let's in fact put the focus on one of those losers, Hiral. Bajaj Electricals, looking at their earnings, 10% slide on both sales and profit front. Consumer products segment, the revenue is down by about 5% over there. Let's get more details. Anant Bajaj, Joint MD at Bajaj Electricals, joins us on the phone line. Anant, just put these numbers in perspective for us. Key segments seeing some kind of a degrowth. What's led to that?
Well, thanks for having us on the call. Our main aspect is that, as you're well aware, we have been onto the secondary sales focus, which was shifted from the primary sale focus, and as a result, we have been steadily doing away with the wholesale market directly, and for that reason, our the volumes have been affected. But at the same time, the actual margin have been continuously increasing. And our main issue has actually not come from appliance or fans in the consumer products, but it's largely the lighting and the dramatic shift of the pricing and the whole product mix when it comes to CFL or the LED. And to that extent, we've mainly got impacted on our lighting business and not so much on the appliance or fans. And in the EP, and then of course there has been also some accounting standard change, which is the new one. The Indian accounting standard has required us to change some of the numbers to adjust to the new requirement, and to that extent there has been a certain amount of hit on that. But as a overall business situation, there actually have been increase in margins, and the volume, as we have been saying even in the earlier time, the third quarter onwards is where you'll really see the volumes coming back, because the stabilization of the secondary sales method in the market will actually stabilize much more by then. And third, fourth quarter onwards, you should really start seeing the that working much more effectively, because there's about a 3 to 6 month cycle which has to go through before the new markets where this is getting introduced gets stabilized.
Your projection of 5,000 crore revenue in FY17, is that still on track?
It's difficult. We can't say impossible, because it can be easily one small good order book which gets converted earlier than the plan can make it. But I won't say it's impossible. Certainly, it's difficult considering the kind of disciplined way in which we are trying to sell. So we're not going to all of a sudden give a sweet deal for trying to achieve the top line. So what we clearly are going to look at making the system very efficient, so that in the future we can continuously grow and give the correct numbers, because short-term gain is not something we are looking at. And so for that, the sweet deals have already totally gone from the market, and we are very much committed to that. And of course, I think top line is something as a end result which we would like to see by doing all the things in a very disciplined way, and that we are not compromising at all on.
Consumer durables, pain likely to continue for some more time. Any strategy to rethink on that one?
No, so that's as I said, the third and fourth quarter is the time when you'll start seeing those top line growths also starting to come, because the margin growths are already happening, and as and when in the next couple of quarters they stabilize more, you'll only see better results coming out of that. And lighting also, I think, going forward, when the product mix stabilizes further, then I think we should start seeing, because again, there the margins is not an issue at all. It's actually the larger issue of the volume of the product selling, especially CFL, where the margin has dropped. LED, the margins are better, but then you need, there is nothing right now which has got enough extra margin to cover up the gap of CFL. And GLS, of course, has always been very stagnant in its pricing and margin, so there's nothing much that can do. So, one of the things which is in the process that we potentially can increase the GLS price, because very few players are actually in that anymore. So to that extent, maybe that will be one way we can bring back the lighting opportunity, because LED is clearly a future product, but there is a lot of technology change which keeps happening, and we have to adapt to that. It's an industry-wide phenomena, so I don't think we have got a unique issue to deal with. But it's something which we, as an industry, also has to solve it. And I think eventually it's the consumer which has to get the confidence and believe in the product more, and then we can always So the profit is not going to be the only thing we want to do. We want to also make a customer come back repeatedly to buy products. So I think, and also I think the multiple new introductions by the government, we need to give some time for stabilizing the new things. And now with, of course, GST also coming in, it's going to be important to have the feel-good factor for the end consumer. And I think we are going in the right direction from all angles. So to that extent, companies, I think the decisions, some of them have been well for the long term. So I think short term, we may not see all the things converting well for us, but I think long term is what matters, and for that we are really gearing up very well.
Fair point, Anand. We'll leave it at that, but appreciate
so
you joining us today. That's Bajaj Electricals for you. They are seeing weakness and that pain could likely continue, but longer term, the management is confident of an improved performance ahead. The stock, though, at the weak points of the day. Mohit, wanted to get a chart check from you. Let's start with Bajaj Electricals and then let's talk about markets as well.
Well, as far as Bajaj Electricals go, it's seen a deep gash yesterday in trade, though it recovered. We're seeing some down move today. Now the charts are not the best, and I think we can head lower towards levels of 230, maybe even 225. There is some further downside on Bajaj Electricals. However, 225 is a strong support zone.
What's happening in the markets, Mohit? 8550, 8600 next?
Well, yeah, seems likely we're actually trading at 8550, 8560 zones, which is a